Hello, everyone, and welcome to The Way Podcast, where we learn in English poco a poco or podcast by podcast. Today, we're going to play a game called Name That Animal. And I'm going to describe lots of animals, and you have to try and guess what is the name of the animal in English. Now, they will be in different categories, so it will be a little bit easier for you. And the majority of these animals are animals that I think most people know in English. However, I have some advanced animals for you that maybe when I describe it, you will know what the animal is in Spanish, but you might not know what it is called in English. Okay, let's get into it.
Bienvenido al podcast de The Way. Si quieres aprender inglés y hablar con confianza, estás en el sitio correcto. Hemos ayudado a miles de personas como tú a mejorar su inglés y alcanzar sus objetivos. Visita nuestra web theway.es para conocer más sobre nuestros cursos online desde A2 hasta C1 y descubre cómo podemos ayudarte a avanzar en tu aprendizaje. Además, si necesitas una certificación oficial, también ofrecemos la opción de realizar el examen Language Pair cómodamente desde casa.
Right, so there are 5 animals in each category, and there's lots of categories. For example, the first category is pets, mascotas. So I will explain all 5 of these animals, and then afterwards I will tell you what they are so that you don't have to wait and try and remember what the different animals are, okay? Try to keep score and see how many you know out of all of them. Maybe, for example, pets, you get 5 out of 5 or 3 correct out of 5. Okay, so like I said, we're starting with pets, mascotas. Number 1, in English, we call this animal man's best friend, right? It's actually the most popular pet to have in Spain. Number 2, this is my best friend. This is my personal pet. I have 2 of these, and they are known to be quite formidable. That's a very good adjective. Quite formidable hunters, and many people keep these pets on farms to hunt the mice and the rats. Number 3, this is an animal that I think most people have when they are children. It's a small little animal. Usually we keep them in cages and they hibernate a little bit. Usually they sleep during the day and they are more active at night. And usually if you are sleeping, you can hear them running on a wheel. Number 4, this is a bird that is probably one of the most popular birds to have as a pet. They live to be very long. Like sometimes these birds are 50, 60, 70 years old, but they are very clever and they can learn many words. The final one, this is a particular pet that is quite easy to look after. It's a type of fish, and this fish is probably the most common to have as a pet. Not in a pond, un estanque, but an actual aquarium, like a little mini fish tank. Okay, everyone, have you got them all? Number 1 is dog. 2 is cat. 3, hamster. 4, parrot. And 5, goldfish. Right. Okay. I've actually never had a goldfish. This is not important. I have other fish. But I was always told that goldfish are difficult fish to maintain. Like they're popular fish, but actually quite difficult to look after. But many people I know always had goldfish when they were children. Righty, let's go on to farm animals. Number 1, this is not important and you won't guess the animal from this description, but it's one of my favorite animals because even though they are big and they're used to in production, they are quite cute. And actually, I think when you are driving and you're in the countryside, when most people see this farm animal, they always shout, "Oh, I can see, look, there are blah, blah, blah." I'll give you a bit of a clue. there are two food industries that we use and sort of breed these farm animals. I don't want to make it too easy. Okay, so two different food industries. I think that's the big clue. Number 2, this animal, there is a domesticated animal that we use and we farm and we breed, but there's also a wild version in most parts of Europe and in Africa. In Africa, the wild version of this is a Pumba. Okay, a Pumba. Pumba meaning the animal from the Lion King. But remember, that's the wild, el salvaje, not the domesticated version. Number 3, this animal is, you can't just have one or two. Most people, when they have these animals on a farm, they have 60 or 70 because we use it's not fur is pelo. It's not fur. We use their natural protection for clothes. Okay. Number 4, this is something that most people, we use their food also in two different ways. But a lot of people have started having these as pets, right? And what they do is that they let these little animals run around. And then when it's time for them to go to sleep, the females, sit and lay. Lay is a special verb. I'm not going to tell you. They lay a special type of food, and in the morning, people collect these foods to eat. Okay, number 5. This is an animal that is used for labor. Labor meaning work, like hard work. However, it is also an animal that is used in sport, like jumping, like show jumping. Okay, let's see if you got my clues. I tried to make it a little bit more difficult. If I make them all easy, then this isn't fun for you guys and you're not learning or practicing your English. Okay, are you ready? Number 1, cow, una vaca. 2, pig, un cerdo. 6, sheep, oveja. I still get confused between oveja and abeja. Anyway, not important. Number 4, chicken. And number 5, horse. Right, how many of those did you get correct? Right, let me do the next bunch, which is sea animals. Again, do I make this super easy or do I try and make it more complicated? I'll try and do a medium. Okay, sea animals, animales del mar. Number 1 is, in general, considered to be one of the most intelligent and friendliest sea animal. And people often, when you go to the ocean, people look specifically for these animals. Number 2, this is one of the most feared, meaning people have a fear. Tiene miedo de este animal en el mar. So people have a fear of this animal. And the only other clue I can give you is the theme song that goes da-dun, 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 da-dun. Actually, in South Africa, I personally won't swim in the ocean. So you probably don't know, but South Africa has 2 oceans. We have the Indian Ocean, and if I'm not mistaken, the Pacific or the Atlantic. I can't remember. It's a cold ocean. But this animal is very famous to be seen and spotted, and people go diving like Buthiad to spend time with these animals. Okay, number 3. This is another very intelligent animal that some people consider to be a type of alien because they're so intelligent and they have no bones. So they can squeeze, like make themselves really, really small to go in and out of different places. And nowadays, some people actually try and keep them as pets. Another clue should I say, is that they are quite known, conocido, to change colors and camouflage. Okay, Number 4. Number 4, the word is the same in Spanish for these two types, and I find that very weird. In English, we have two distinct animals. So this animal wears a shell. The shell is like, well, I guess shell is concha, but that's not the type of shell. This shell is más como un casco, right? I don't know actually what it is called in Spanish, but it's like a shell, or like it has its home. It lives inside its home. It carries its home with it. Okay. And number 5, this animal is, some of them are dangerous and some of them are not. But when people see this animal, they think that this animal is going to sting them. Sting is like pica, like picar. And some of them do and some of them don't. I swam this summer with some of these, and they were not a problem. They have very long tentacles. Okay, let's see. Number 1, dolphin. Number 2, shark, tiburón. 3, octopus, meaning pulpo. 4, turtle. Now, turtle I know is tortuga, but turtle is only the word that we use to talk about este tipo de tortuga que vive en el mar, okay? And number 5 is jellyfish, medusa. How many did you get correct? Right, okay. The next one is savanna animals, which basically just means animals from Africa. Now, I've distinguished the next two categories as savanna animals and jungle animals because I'm tired of people telling me that these animals live in the same place, and they don't. Some jungle animals live in Africa because we have jungles in Africa, but not all animals in the savanna live in the jungle, right? So let's start with savanna animals. For example, number 1, this animal is considered to be the king of the jungle, but he doesn't live in a jungle. He lives in the savanna. Anyway, there is a famous Disney movie based on this animal, probably one of the most famous. Number 2, one of my personal favorite animals is one of the biggest animals that live in Africa. Well, they live in India as well, and they live in herds. A herd is the word that we use to say they live in groups. And maybe you know this, maybe you don't. It is usually the matriarch. It is not a patriarchy. It's not the men that are important, the males that are important. It is the females that are important in this group. And they are known for people wanting to steal their ivory. Also, did you know that when there is death in the family of this animal, that these animals mourn? Mourn is the verb that we use cuando necesitas manejar el dolor del muerto. Mourn. I find that fascinating. Okay, number 3. This animal from Africa is also known for having a very long neck. Neck meaning cuello. Number 4. This is considered to be a cousin un primo of a horse, but it comes in 2 distinct colors. And number 5, this is an animal, well, to be honest, it is the fastest animal in the world. I think it is the fastest running animal, not flying, not swimming, fastest running. Okay, we have number 1, lion. Number 2, elephant. Number 3, giraffe. Number 4, zebra. And number 5, cheetah, guepardo. Now, in Spanish, you say leopardo and guepardo, but in English, we say leopard for leopardo and cheetah for guepardo. Okay. The next group is jungle animals. Now, like I said, some of these animals also live in Africa, but a lot of them not as well. Okay. Right. Number 1, I guess I could say that this animal is the closest that we have to a cousin to humans. And they come in many different types and shapes and forms. To be honest, I am afraid of this animal, probably because I come from Africa. Okay, number 2. This animal is very big, bigger than a lion, but lives in India, in the India region of the world. Number 3, this is an animal that I've already said. I said it in one of the earlier categories, but it is a very colorful bird that lives in tropical areas of the world. Number 4, this animal is very I'm going to use Australia as the example. I know I said it's a jungle animal, but this is a very famous animal in Australia, and also the Amazon. Obviously, the Amazon is a jungle, but this is a type of animal that is, people are afraid of this animal all over the world. Number 5, this animal is, again, one of those animals that people have a lot of respect for. It's the biggest, one of the biggest of its kind, black, and they live in the, if I'm not mistaken, they live in the Congo jungle, in the Congolese jungle, and they live in big, big families. And there was a female journalist, I don't know if she was a journalist or a biologist, but a very famous woman went and spent some time with these animals in the jungle. And they are black, but they are considered silver on their back. Así que tiene plato en su espalda. Okay, so number 1 is monkey. Number 2, tiger. Number 3, parrot. Number 4, snake. And number 5, gorilla. Okay, let's do Arctic animals. This one might be a little bit difficult because some of the words are easy and some of them are not so easy. So I think I'll keep these clues a little bit more straightforward, un poco más sencillo. Number 1, this animal is a great hunter and it's white, completely white. Obviously, it lives in the Arctic. It is the cousin of, I can't say that without saying the word. Well, it's the cousin of the grizzly. Now, grizzly is another type of this animal. That's okay. It's one of the most iconic animals that you think of when you go to the Arctic, like the cold areas of the world. Number 2, this is a type of bird, but this bird can't fly. And they are known in these areas. There was an actual movie, a film called Happy Feet with this movie, and another one that from my childhood, I can't remember what it's called. But these animals usually give little stones, like piedras, when they want to find the media naranja. Okay, the next word is an animal that lives in the water. Sometimes it can relax and rest on land, but it hunts and looks for food in the water. They don't have no tiene patas, they don't have wings, they have fins, which are aletas, and they are very fast. But orcas, las orcas, they still like to hunt this particular animal. Number 4, this animal in one aspect can be dangerous because it has tusks. Tusk is the same as the ivory from an elephant. So these have tusks, but they are very fat. And so I can't imagine them looking dangerous. I'm sure they are dangerous, but they just seem fat and lazy. And they're very, very big and brown. And the final one, this is a smaller animal, also white, and they have a very bushy tail, like a very una cola. They have fur, pelo, and they are very fast in their hunting. Not a big animal at all. That last one might be difficult. The key word here is fur, a tail, and very fast. Okay, let's see how many you know. Number 1, polar bear. Number 2, penguin. Number 3, seal. A seal es una foca. Number 4, walrus. I don't know what is a walrus in Spanish. Let me check. Una morsa. Morsa? Morsa. Anyway, una morsa, walrus. And number 5 is an Arctic fox. Right, our next category, I think we're basically halfway, everyone. Our next category is reptiles and amphibians. Okay, now, number 1. These are little reptiles that sometimes come into your house, right? They like to lie, well, all of these animals like to lie in the sun, but these animals like to lie in the sun and they're very cute and they eat a lot of bugs, los bichos. You can find big ones, and those are a little bit scarier because they hunt for animals, but the ones that I am thinking of are quite small and cute. Number 2, this animal is also famous in Africa, but you can also find different types in Australia, and their cousins live in America. People often find them on golf courses. Okay, number 3. This is another small animal that feels slimy. I don't know what is slimy. You know, like children like to play with slime. So it feels slimy, and they have a long tongue, una lengua larga. And they catch a lot of flies, las moscas. Okay, number 4. Now this is the animal I was talking about before. This is the cousin, el primo, to the turtle. Okay. And number 5, another very small animal that you can find in places like Africa, maybe in the jungle as well. This is a small reptile that is famous for changing colors so that it blends into the background, so that it doesn't, get eaten. Okay, so we have a lizard, crocodile, frog, tortoise, which is spelled tortoise, which is not the same as turtle, everyone. And the last one, chameleon. All right, okie dokie. Birds. The next category is birds, los pájaros. Number 1, this bird comes out at night, and it's very famous for being wise. Sabio, wise. Number 2, this is a big bird. They are different sizes, obviously, but they are considered one of the bigger birds. Very famous in America. It's their national animal, or one of their national animals. When you think of America, like United States of America, you think of this animal. Okay, number 3, the word is very similar in Spanish, and it's pink, and usually they stand on one leg. Okay, number 4, this is a beautiful bird. Usually the females are usually brown. Females don't need to have colorful feathers, but the males are usually blue, and when they open their feathers, it looks like a fan. And number 5, I have no idea what this word is in Spanish, but this is a very famous bird that likes to make a hole, un agujero, in the trunk of a tree, in el tronco del árbol, right? And they just make a sound, they go da 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 da. And there was an animation, a very famous animation called Woody, based on this bird. Okay, number 1 is owl, búho. 2, eagle, águila. 3, flamingo. 4, peacock, pavo real, right? And the final one is woodpecker. But what is woodpecker in Spanish? If this is actually what it's called, the name in Spanish is so cute. Pájaro carpintero. That's hilarious. Okay. The final, let's say easy in comillas, the final easy topic is insects. Okay. Number 1, this is one of the most iconic insects for people to think of when they think of happy things, and they usually come out in like the spring and the summer. Okay, the next one, this is considered the most hard-working insect, and they are always around flowers. Number 3, this animal lives underground, and they are always looking to protect their queen, and they're always looking for sugar and sugary things. Number 4, the only thing I can say about number 4 is that it's the worst insect to exist. Eso es suficiente. I don't need to explain more. Okay. And number 5, this one is very cute, and their colors are red and black. Okay, are you ready? Number 1, butterfly. Number 2, bee. Number 3, ant. Ant meaning hormiga. Number 4, mosquito. And number 5, people say ladybug and other people say ladybird. So ladybird or ladybug. Right, so we've done the easy ones. Let's look into the more difficult ones. The first one is very interesting because it's an animal from Australia, a mammal or mamífero that lays eggs, que tiene huevos. All right, very interesting. Number 2, this animal is it has a hard shell, right? Shell, again, remember I said I didn't know what shell is, like concha, but it's not a concha, like a casco. And it is known for, it lives in Central and South America in forests and deserts. And if it translated into Spanish, apparently it means little armored one, que tiene like protección. Okay, number 3, the wording is very similar in Spanish, actually. Think of a unicorn of the sea, right? So it looks like a whale with the horn of a unicorn. Okay, number 4, this is an animal that likes to live in jungles, all right? But they're very slow and they sleep all the time. They were actually very cute and famous in the Zootopia film, and they sleep by hanging, colgar, en los árboles. Okay. Number 5, this is it's like a lizard, but it's not a lizard. It's actually a salamander, and they've become quite popular as pets. They're a little bit pink, and they look like they have hair, like tiene pelo, but they don't. And they live in water and people have them in tanks. Okay. Number 6, this is the biggest lizard that exists and they are actually quite venomous. Like you don't want to go near them. They're very dangerous and they can eat people. Right. Number 7. So earlier when I was talking about pigs, I mentioned Pumba, which is a warthog, a wild pig of Africa. Now, this animal in the film The Lion King was the compañero, the friend of Pumba. Okay. Number 8, another Australian animal, very cute, not a koala. It looks more or less like a koala, but it doesn't live in trees. It lives on the ground. And their poo, right, it actually looks like a cube. And they're actually a marsupial, which means that they have a pouch. Right. Number 9, the word is very similar in Spanish. They're also a type of primate. They're not a monkey, but they are a type of primate that live on Madagascar. And there was a famous film called Madagascar with King Julian. So what is the animal of King Julian? Right. And the final one, which is very interesting. Its name comes from Afrikaans. Remember that Afrikaans is a language from South Africa. Not Africa, it's not African language, it's Afrikaans, right? And it means earth pig. Pig of the earth, un cerdo de la tierra, right? And they are quite known for eating ants. They have like a long nose and they eat termites and ants, and that's what they're famous for. Okay, right. Are you ready to hear these words in English? I'll tell you the words in Spanish as well. Number 1 is platypus. And let me say this slowly. Ornitorrinco. Okay, number 2 is armadillo, which I think is maybe the same in Spanish. Armadillo. Maybe, I don't know. 3 is narwhal, and that's quite similar in Spanish. Narval. 4 is a sloth, a perezoso. Number 5 is axolotl, which I think is so funny. In Spanish, you call it ajolote, but I just think of ajo. Right. Number 6 is a Komodo dragon, un dragón de Komodo. It's the same. 7, I'm sure some of you said suricat, because all my students say suricat. No, suricata in English is meerkat. Number 8 is a wombat, and they are so cute. Number 9 is a lima. I think in Spanish you would say lemur. And number 10 is aardvark. Vark mean pig and aard meaning earth. Okay. And that's it, everyone, for today. I hope you enjoyed today's lesson, podcast, same thing really, and that you learned some new words of animals in English. Right, until next time then, everyone. Bye.
Si disfrutaste de este episodio y quieres llevar tu inglés al siguiente nivel, te invitamos a descubrir nuestros cursos online en theway.es, diseñados para mejorar tu fluidez y confianza en situaciones reales. Hemos ayudado a miles de personas como tú a transformar su aprendizaje. Visita ahora theway.es y realiza nuestro test de nivel interactivo de manera gratuita. Además, si necesitas una certificación oficial, también ofrecemos la opción de realizar el examen de Mid-Third cómodamente desde casa.